Hi everyone, I hope everyone is having a good day. Welcome to my channel, I'm Tarasha. So we're going to do Deadpool and Wolverine review. Now I did see this movie in the theater, I was just waiting for it to come out on digital because I wanted to refresh my mind. I have watched it twice since I got it yesterday. So I think there's so many good moments in this movie. I mean, just moment after moment. It was, for me, for this movie, it was very heightened. It was like, okay, we're going to give you good fighting scenes. We're going to give you the back and forth between Wolverine and Deadpool. And Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did a fantastic job. Now, let's focus on Wolverine and then focus on Deadpool. Wolverine, to see Hugh Jackman come back as this role, because the last time we seen him, he played Logan. And we all know what happened in Logan. So to see that, to see, hey, he's coming back as his role, but we're going to give you his accurate suit, which there's a joke in the movie, it took 20 years to see Hugh Jackman in that suit, right? Because I talked about this before, in the X-Men movies, they were in black leather. Everybody has a joke about that. They were in black leather. To my understanding, it was very influenced by The Matrix, to my understanding. Because I was doing a lot of reading about it and The Matrix popped up. Because apparently they loved The Matrix at the moment and they were like, oh, let's put them all in black leather. And for me, can you imagine if they would have put them in their accurate suits then? It would have been mind-blowing. But it's really cool to see him in his accurate suit now. Now, like I said, this movie is very heightened. It has cool fighting scenes, but there's moments that was like leveled out through this movie, which was mostly focused on Wolverine. Wolverine is a very emotional person. He has all these things going on with him and stuff, and those moments come out when he was in the car with Deadpool and they were driving and stuff, and this is before they started fighting in the car. They had this emotional moment, and then he had a very emotional moment with X-23, and those two haven't been together since Logan. And it was just like, okay, this is a good thing, to see that emotion of what he's been going through and what's on his heart and stuff like that. He's just had very good emotion moments through this movie. The fighting scenes were just really good, especially in the beginning when you see Wolverine and Deadpool and they were in the Fox Century, like the Void and stuff like that. It was really cool that the action part of it with everything was just amazing. The camera work was amazing. It was just amazing to see something like that come out of Marvel again. And I do have my opinion of the fact that there's a joke in the movie. Like, he told Wolverine, well, you're coming in at a very low point. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't see it that way for me, because people have these jokes about Marvel and stuff. Is everything good coming out of Marvel, like, very excellent? No. But it's still watchable. It really is. Now, with the TVA, with Paradox, he was getting on my last nerve. He really is. He really was. Because he showed his hand really early. He showed it like, okay, this is what I'm about to do, and you guys can't do nothing about it. And he just didn't care. He wanted to be the TVA, not work for the TVA. He wanted to be the TVA. And he was very bold with it. And at the end, it didn't, it, it didn't work. It just did not work at all. Now, let's talk about Deadpool. With Deadpool, I have to talk about the beginning. With Deadpool, it's like his jokes have jokes. It's like his jokes have jokes, have puns, have all these things, but they're very good jokes. Yes, they could be probably a little bit out there, but they're good. They're so good. And the fact that him and Blind Owl are still roommates. He is trying to live this chill life, working at the dealership and stuff. And it's not where he wants to be more, something more. And I think that happened. He saved the world, right? And for me, it's like the back and forth between Wolverine and Deadpool is just like this. It's like, but it worked so good when they scene met um Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova is Professor X's sister. Now her powers work a little bit different than him. We all know how his powers work. She has to actually get her fingers dirty and go through their mind. And the way they did that was like, okay, this is cool, but also creepy at the same time. It was like, okay, this is cool. And she is gone. She died. And I'm wondering if we're ever going to see her again in some type of form, because we do have variants, so we could probably see her again. You never know. But everything was just the stamp of approval, just amazing. The the Deadpool core, the way they walked in was amazing. The fact that Lady Pool is voiced by Blake Lively, which is Ryan Reynolds' wife. I believe his kid was involved too. I think he played Kid Pool. I'm not sure. And the fact that Matthew McConaughey played, I believe, Cowboy Deadpool. It was very, 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 very good. It was just like, oh, we know who these people are just by listening to who they were. Now, Nice Pool was amazing. One of my favorite parts is when he was talking to Nice Pool, and we see Mary Poppins, which is Dog Pool, and Nice Pool broke the fourth wall and said the proposal, and Deadpool was like, I'm not going to actually say the word, like, this is what you think I do? Like, it was just really good. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are just so good. Let's talk about Mary Poppins. That dog is cute. That dog is so cute. And that's what Deadpool wanted. He wanted the dog, and he achieved it. He got the dog. But I think for me, where do they go from here is like, I do know that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman both were talking about if they are probably going to end up in another movie together. It could be they could show up in an Avenger movie. You never know, right? How they're going to use them from here. Do they make another Deadpool and Wolverine movie, or do they use them in different other projects? Do they use them as, okay, they're going to be mentioned somehow, or somehow, some way, in some type of way? Because there was a deleted clip of Gambit, and we seen, it looks like he made it out of the void. So did X-23. So they could use those characters. Now let's talk about Channing Tatum as Gambit. I believe he did that character justice. Because I believe about 10, 15 years ago, when they were doing all the movies and stuff like that, he was supposed to get a Gambit movie. He was supposed to. Didn't work out. Now he's playing this character several years later, and he does an amazing job. His accent is very thick, but people were talking so bad about the accent, talking about, well, Cajun people don't have that thick. Yes, they do. Okay? My family is from Louisiana, okay? They have thick accents. You can hardly understand them, and I appreciate subtitles. I really do. Captions. I appreciate it, because the way he worked it, the way he just the way his body language was so good. To see Jennifer Gardner back as Elektra, because that was one of my favorite, well, the first time we seen her was in, which is so crazy, because uh, Daredevil was mentioned, but we all know that Daredevil was played by Ben Affleck. This is before, this was like his first superhero role before he played Batman. And we all know that Jennifer Gardner and Ben Affleck were married, they have kids together. So it's just so crazy. And the fact that Blade, Wesley Snipes, he was in Blade and Ryan Reynolds. They were both in the third Blade together. So there's lots of like stuff. People have worked with each other, overlapped and stuff, because Jennifer Gardner and Ryan Reynolds have worked together also. So it's just amazing that way. Now, one of the funny things about it is Blade said, well, there will only be one Blade. At the moment, the Blade movie from the MCU is in development hell at the moment. It's crazy at the moment. Well, I hope this movie do get made, because it has a cast. It just doesn't. They're trying to get a good script, and I believe it does have a director. I know directors have went in and out, and writers also. So it's crazy at the moment. But yes, I do want to see this movie get made, but I feel like they wait even longer, it probably will get canceled. That's just my opinion. Hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, if I had to rate this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, I would say a 10 out of 10, because it checks all the marks in my head. It had a good beginning, a good middle, and a good ending. It had a fantastic soundtrack, by the way, to use, okay? To use Bye 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 by NSYNC as a fighting scene sequence, you got me, because I'm a millennial, and that song is through and throughout my whole childhood. That was really good. To use the Grease song as a fighting sequence, sequenced song, was amazing. The soundtrack is amazing, because I seen the soundtrack set list before I seen the movie, and I was like, how are they going to use this? And then the intro, you hear Bye Bye Bye, you hear Madonna, you hear all these fantastic songs. You have Avril Lavigne. You have all these fantastic songs in this fantastic movie, and I clap my hands to Marvel for doing this movie, because I think a lot of fans were asking for a Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and then we finally got it, and you did an amazing job through and throughout. And for me, it's like, okay, okay, you need to continue this on with other movies. Okay, we got Thunderbolts coming out. We have the Captain America Brave New World coming out. We have both of the Avenger movie, which is Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, coming out. So continue that path, continue that consistency of listen to the fans. We're not going to steer you wrong. We're not, because hardcore fans like myself, and plus I'm also a comic book reader, so I mean, like, you could put that stuff in the movie. You probably have to do some twists and turns. I talked about that in my Thunderbolts video about a week ago, because the way they're doing Thunderbolts is a little bit different than the comic books. So it's just a little bit different, a little changes here and there and stuff, little twists and stuff, which is expectable when you are putting a comic book into big screen, right? Same thing goes if you putting comic book into small screen. So yeah, I had a fantastic time. I laughed through the whole movie. I think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did a fantastic job. I do believe that they need to work. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds need to work in other movies together because they have really good chemistry. And I've talked about that. When you have good chemistry and you find your person on screen and you can work with them, no matter what the script is, it could be a comedy, it could be a drama, it could be anything, and it just comes out on screen and you leave it there, you have someone forever to do movies good. They could play brothers and do a fantastic job. Or play, I don't know, neighbors across the street and they terrorize each other. It could be, it could be, but I believe it has to be a comedy between those two because the comedy in Deadpool and Wolverine was amazing, and I could see them play like neighbors or play um like a heist movie, or they're really both good in drama movies. I will say I would like to see Hugh Jackman in more comedian roles because I think he does a fantastic job with his comedian timing. Ryan Reynolds has been doing comedy forever, so he's great at it already. But Hugh Jackman, he's done comedy before, but I want to see him do it a little bit more. But I hope everyone is having a really good day. If you guys want to, go and subscribe to my channel, and I hope everyone's having a good day. Bye.